Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be, so you think you know the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So I'll jump right into it. So you think you know the narcissist, do you? When you first met the narcissist, did they portray themselves to be one individual when in fact they were somebody completely different? Did they perhaps shower you with adoration? Did they have you fall into the narcissistic fog by way of fake love or empathy? Did they actually let you know who they were throughout the body of the relationship? Did you know where they were, who they were with, what they were doing, what they were about to do to you? Did you know all of their past relationships? Maybe, perhaps the narcissist claimed that they were a victim from previous relationships, that A, B, and C person just didn't treat them quite right, and that they were a victim, or this person was not such a good person to me, etc. And then what did? You swooped in like the white knight in shining armor. You entered a relationship with them thinking perhaps you could save them, or perhaps they were vulnerable, or perhaps they really did have a difficult childhood, or that people did mistreat them. In other words, you believed the mask, and next thing you know, you perhaps fell in love with them, and you now entered the devaluation stage, or the narcissistic fog, when you're in that state and you don't know what is going on. You don't know how you got there, but you're realizing and understanding that slowly the actions are not adding up to the words that they were mentioning to you. Remember, when you first meet the narcissist, many times they will try their best to ensnare their dirty fangs into you. They will assimilate with you. They will learn what makes you tick, your hobbies, your friends, your social circle. They will try their best to spend as much time with you in the very beginning of the relationship. And when they do this, it is on purpose. It's to take you super high and to drop you super low, to push you away and to pull you in. They want you off kilter. They want you to believe that they are the best thing on the planet, that how could they be single, or how could nobody ever want to be with them? You get my point. Things like these. The point being, when you're with the narcissist, you never really knew who they were. You don't know who they are now. You will never know who they are. The reason why is because, let's say the relationship ended for you recently, or it ended. Well, the mask slipped from the narcissist, right? Let's say they discarded you as an example. Well, you saw the person who was waiting to just take that mask off their face and throw it on the ground and crash it, because they could not maintain the mask much longer. That is why the narcissist moves on so quickly, because you never really get to know who they are. All you know is that you're in a toxic one-way relationship that is not benefiting you, and you can't figure it out. Now keep in mind, I just unpacked a lot there. Throughout the body of the narcissistic relationship, what the narcissist wants to do is extract your resources. I mention it on every video: your time, money, energy, effort, love, empathy, your social circle, your status, your health. They want to take all of that from you and more. The narcissist also believes that they own you once you profess a few simple words like, I do, or I love you, or let's get married, or let's move in together, or I will loan you money, or I'll sign the mortgage and I'll pay all the bills and the mortgage will be under your name. Once you do pivotal things like this, or you went into business with them, 50-50 was the arrangement, but they now believe that they're entitled to 80% and you're entitled to 20%, because that is how they're gaslighting. They're telling you what their sense of the contract was. That's a side note. If you're going into business with the narcissist, or anybody, make sure it is in writing. I'm talking writing, and it's fully understood and documented. Side note. Point being, did you ever really know the narcissist? You didn't. You didn't know where they were, what they were doing. Let's say that they were supposed to be somewhere, meet you 6 o'clock on a Friday night, and they didn't show up till 10. Maybe they didn't show up at all, and they ghosted you as an example, and you would be texting them, hey, where are you? What are you doing? You would get nothing. Then tomorrow, what would happen? You'd get a text, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot about it. I forgot we were gonna get together, or I was so busy, or something happened. Any excuse, but what that does is that now keeps you in the narcissistic fog, and here's why. Because that night, as an example, Friday night, you were supposed to be with them, but they blew you off, as an example, probably on purpose, because they had a better source of supply at the period of time, or something better to attend to make them look better, but now they wasted your time and they ruined your night. But when you're in the fog, The next day, you give them a mulligan, you give them a pass, you excuse the poor behavior and you tolerate it, and you say, okay, I understand, that's fine. And then maybe it happens again in a month, and you're like, wait, this is becoming a pattern. But what do? You most likely, until you get the wisdom on my channel, you continue to ignore the red flags and you stay in that relationship. Understand this, but did you ever really know who they were with or what they were doing? No, you didn't. Did you, when you were in the relationship, did you ever even believe for a minute that your partner and or spouse could have other sources of supply, romantic or otherwise? No, because you would be thinking to yourself, what is supply? I'm married. This person I'm married, they love me, I love them. We're in a stable, healthy, two-way relationship. Again, nothing can be further from the truth. When you said, I love you, and or you married the narcissist, that was just a license to abuse you. They now had their primary source of supply lined up with a wedding ring on their finger, which was you, and now they can begin to get other sources of supply from wherever they're going. Maybe it's on dating apps, maybe it's on apps in general, smartphone, conferences, conventions, traveling, work, communities, religious organizations, who knows? The narcissist needs new shiny objects. They need people. They are a person who collects people. They collect relationships with people, and they devastate these people and break the relationships, and they leave a wake of destruction in their path. That's exactly what they do. But did you ever really know the narcissist? No, you didn't. Think about when you would be at dinner with them, and perhaps they were paying more attention to the waitstaff or their smartphone, or batting their eyelashes to complete strangers at other tables. Were they paying attention to you? No. But did you think that things were okay? No, you knew something was off, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it because you weren't taught narcissism in school. So you did not know what you were up against. And the narcissists knew this. They knew it throughout the whole body of the relationship. And they were hoping that you would never figure out who they were. That is a fact. That is why, again, when the narcissist knows you know, it's game over. They can't manipulate you any longer. They can't steal your energy or your resources, because now once you've seen who they are and you've understood the definitions and the glossary and terms on the narcissistic abusive cycle, this is a superpower, and you can't unsee what you've seen. So when the narcissist knows that you know, that's checkmate for you. That's when you begin living your best life. You drowned out them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them, go no contact, block them, and begin living your best life. Of course, after you've healed, etc. But did you ever really, so you think you know the narcissist? You really don't, because they don't know themselves many times. They live they live for the moment. You, post-narcissistic relationship, are living in the present moment. There's a huge difference when you're living in the present moment compared to when you're living for the moment. Living for the moment means you have plans tonight, as an example. Let's say you were in the narcissistic relationship, but you didn't know they were narcissists. You have plans to go to a concert, let's say, as an example. Okay, well, that's great. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, they get a text and something else popped up. The party of the year, the event of the year, something that they can't miss. What happens? Well, they're not going to be going to that concert with you, I can assure you that. They're going to be going somewhere else where they can get more sources of supply, something that is more important to them. That is called living for the moment, not living in the present moment. In other words, keep in mind, the narcissist is always moving the goalposts. Notice how the narcissist can't commit to things. If you say to them, here's a real great example for you. If you say to them, hey, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I'll pick you up, we'll go do this, this, and this. Many times they'll be like, we'll see. I'll check my schedule. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you. Let's see what's going on. I can't commit right now. They will say things like that. Why? Because it's exactly what I'm talking about. They're looking to see if something better will come along in that period of time. And if it does, believe me, they will be doing what comes along that is better than to be doing what you had proposed with them. And that doesn't matter if you're married or if it's your mom or dad or friend or neighbor or whomever. That's how the narcissist lives. They are living for the moment. You are living in the present moment. It's a huge difference. And they don't care, by the way. They don't care about other people's feelings, other people's emotions. As a matter of fact, they love negative supply. Getting back on track. So you think you know the narcissist. You didn't. You didn't know who they were throughout the body of the relationship. If you were in the relationship for any length of time, you figured out quickly that they many times don't even know themselves because they're an emotional infant. They're trapped in a child's mentality. They live for right now. What is going to get them the most sources of supply right now? That's what they do. That's why many of these people become addicted to things. Example, addicted to sex, addicted to shopping, addicted to being on the smartphone, addicted to certain shows or programs, addicted to people, addicted to, let's say, things that aren't good for you, that I won't mention on the channel if you get my point. The narcissist many times has an addictive personality, and they're anxiety riddled. And you should know that by now. They need things to stimulate themselves. They need things to give them that next rush. They need people to take from. They need people to pump up their fragile ego. So you think you know the narcissist. Think about this. You really never did. Right now, wherever the narcissist is around the globe, whoever you're thinking about, maybe they are a totally different person. Remember, with you, perhaps they like to go boating, do crochet, and go bowling. Now they throw all those out the window because the new supply that they're with now likes to go skinny skiing. They're a foodie, so they go eating at special restaurants, and now they love to watch movies, things like that. The narcissist is a chameleon. They change on a dime, and you saw that, and I can prove it to you right now. When you were in the relationship with them, again, you didn't know they were a narcissist, but notice how if it was just you and the narcissist at home, how they would be treating you if they were paying attention to you at all, and you weren't experiencing either a rage fit or the silent treatment or being gaslit or stonewalled. But let's say that you had an average everyday day, which was not as bad as most other days, and then someone would knock on the door, and then boom, they perk right up, and they have the perma smile, and everything's great, and it's the best thing in the world, and they're super excited, right? That's right. That's why. Because the narcissist can turn the charm on and off, and they know exactly what they're doing. Think about it. And you, when you were in the relationship, believe me when I tell you, you became a very boring individual to the narcissist, not in real life, because you didn't challenge them any longer. Once you got married, they knew what was going to happen. They knew what the plans were, to have kids, to start a business, to run a business, to be a stay-at-home husband or wife. They knew exactly what your responsibilities would be. They wouldn't come right out and tell you. They would slowly, insidiously push you in the direction that they wanted you to go in, and you put up with it, you tolerated it. So you never really know the narcissist. What you do know is the narcissist always has an agenda, and they're always trying to get the best of any relationship there is. In other words, they look at relationships as transactions, and they need to get the better part of the transaction. So example, suppose you go to the store, you're buying a bottle of water. Well, the bottle of water costs $1. Well, the narcissist may try to get that bottle for a much cheaper price because they believe that they're entitled to it. Perhaps not the best example, but you understand my point. That is why, let's say you're divorcing the narcissist. First of all, that's going to be a very long, dragged out process, most likely. Second of all, you will have to divide the children, meaning the time, the custody, and assets, and figure out the divorce, things like that. But when you're divorcing the narcissist, believe me when I tell you, they will make you wait as long as possible because they're playing the waiting game and they're dragging things out longer and longer and longer. And most likely you have become financially dependent upon the narcissist, and they know that, which is exactly called financial abuse, and it's exactly called they will just wait it out. So eventually, if the agreement was 50-50 and everything, they're hoping to get 75 and you get 25, and even then when you say you agree to that, and by the way, I wouldn't, but if you did, then they're like, no, I didn't say that, I meant 80-20. And then you go, okay, and then it's 85-15 because they believe they're entitled to everything. Side note, I hope you understand all these things. And by the way, if you're divorcing a narcissist, God bless you. My hope is you can get 50-50 because if that's what the rules are in your jurisdiction, that's what it should be. But don't let them wait you out because that is exactly what they will want to do. So you think you know the narcissist. Think about it. Think about all the times then you watch the strange behavior, all the times you were ghosted, all the times you would text them a monologue of information and they wouldn't even get back to you, or they would type the letter K, completely invalidating you, and they wouldn't tell you about their whereabouts, who they were with, who these strange people keeps popping up around of the opposite sex. Think about it. There are so many red flags in the narcissistic relationship. They're everywhere, everywhere. They're abundantly clear once you get the message. But when you're in the relationship without the wisdom and or knowing what narcissism is, you're up against a behemoth. You're up against somebody who knows exactly how they take advantage of you until you figure out what narcissism is. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware. Understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And think about it. Did you ever really know the narcissist? You really didn't. Looking back in retrospect on the relationships or relationship you were part of, you can say, wow, I tolerated some really poor behavior. I did not have boundaries, and I can't believe I did that, but you did it. And now you're at the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, when you just flat out don't care about the narcissist. You've healed and you're moving forward, living your best life. So guys, remember, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye guys. A little bird just flew by.